Hey everybody, it is Tom here, and I'm here to show you how to play the basics of blues piano. So what you're going to find in this lesson today is a lesson that you can follow whether you've been playing piano for a short time or whether you've never played piano before. If you've never played piano before, don't worry, today I'll explain the names of the notes and stuff for you, and you'll also learn how to play something pretty cool. The less experience you have, probably the more you're going to need to pause this video and work on a few things as we go. However, I'm going to try and keep it at a pace that everyone can follow, okay? So, what I'm going to do first of all is play the whole tune for you. Then I will isolate the part that we're doing today, and then we'll get into the left hand first, and then we'll go into the right hand after that. And then, if you need anything after that, all you have to do is go back to the part in the video where you got a little bit stuck, and then that will help you out. I recommend watching this video a good few times and getting to about maybe 70% competence in this, and then after that you can move on to the next stuff. Okay, so the tune, let me play the tune before I get too far ahead of myself. Let me play the tune for you. So the whole tune goes like this, and we're only learning the first part today. Okay, so I know that might seem a little intimidating if you've never played piano before, but I'm here to make all that intimidation go away. So left hand, okay? Left hand, we're going to be doing this. Okay? So first of all, you're probably going to want me to take you through what the names of the notes are. All right? So I'm going to do that first of all. So what we need to do is we need to look at finding the C note, okay? If you can find the C note, then everything is going to be so much easier for you, okay? Now, the way to find the C note is to understand how the piano is organized, that there's black notes and there's white notes, and the black notes come in a very specific pattern. That can help us find the notes that we're looking for. So, we're going to ignore this one here. This is one by itself, okay? So we've got two black notes, three black notes, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay? Now, if the piano were to continue on past this point, then this would be the first of or the third of 3 black notes. So it would be 3, 2, 3, 2, and so on like that. Okay? So that's why you've got one empty one at the bottom there. Now, the way that we're going to use the black notes to find the C note is by first understanding the C note is the note that comes just before the 2 black notes. So every time that you see a set of 2 black notes anywhere on the piano, then the C is the white note that comes just before it. So probably a good thing to do if you've never played the piano before would be to try to find all of those C's. So and then actually the very last note on the piano is also a C. if you've got a full 88 key piano. Okay, now that's all the C's. If you're having trouble with that, probably a good thing to do would be to pause every now and again and practice these things, okay? So that's C. Now, another thing to know about the musical alphabet is that it goes up as far as G. C, D, E, F, G. Then after the G, then we're back to A again. A, B, C. And it's before the two black notes, so it makes sense. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. Now, you might wonder why we're starting from C instead of starting from A. There's a few reasons for that. One of them being that in the key of C, all of the notes that you can play are all white notes, so it's very nice, you know. Okay, so all of the notes that you play in the key of C are usually white notes, but in the case of blues, we break that rule a little bit. So we're going to be including some black notes when we get to our right hand. However, let's talk about the left hand now, okay? So now, what we're going to do is we're going to pick, with our little finger, our pinky, we're going to take the C note in our left hand, and then we're also going to take the G note. Now, the G note we could play with either our pointer finger or our thumb. Sometimes I change the way I do it midway through a song. It's not the most important thing in the world. Probably all of the textbooks and so on would tell you to play it with a pointer, because then we're going to play the next one with the thumb. Spoiler. Okay? If you want to play them both with thumb, that's okay as well. Because today it doesn't matter what the textbooks tell you, because I wrote this piece. So you can play it whatever way you want. I give you the right to do that today. So each time we're playing with the pinky, the C, and then we're going between the G and the A. Back and forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? What we do is we do that 1, 2, 3, 4 around 4 times. Okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. After that it moves. Okay? Now, the great thing about learning this left hand, I gotta tell you, is that it works for the whole song. So even though we're spending a lot of time learning it today, this will be the basis for all of the other parts of this tune. So if you go back and listen to when I played the tune at the start there, you'll hear that the left hand doesn't change at all, it stays the same. So we'll spend a little bit of time focusing on that today, so that then in the future we can just skip over that and you'll already know it from today. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, and then we take that whole thing and we move it so that the pinky is on F and the pointer is on C, and we go back and forth between that and that, same shape. The only difference between this and the first thing is that we play, instead of 4 repetitions, we play 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So now what we have is 6 bars. Each one of those 1, 2, 3, 4s is in music called a bar. So we've got bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4, bar 5, bar 6, and then for bar 7 and bar 8, we play those on C again. Okay? And then we go to what's called the turnaround. We got a G, with the pinky and D and E on the movement there. And then we got one bar only of that. Then one bar of F. And then we finish it off with 2 bars of C. Now don't you worry, I'm going to write all of this down so that you'll have it right on your screen so that you can pause it and you'll be able to see that later on. I just want you to get the practice of playing around with it today, and then you can memorize the 12-bar sequence later on. Often whenever you hear people talking about blues music, they'll talk about 12-bar blues music, and that's what this is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. After that, the whole song just goes around again, and you keep doing the same thing on the left hand over and over and over again. Which, if you go back and listen to the thing that I played at the start, you'll listen to the whole tune and you'll hear that that is all that happens the whole time in the left hand. So what I would do if I were you is probably take a little while just to practice those positions, moving around with them. Don't worry, I'll give you all the numbers and everything later in terms of how often you play these. So the 4, the 2, 2, 1, 1, 2. I'll write all that down for you. Now let me explain what to do on the right hand, okay? First thing I need to do is take you through one little technical point. First thing I'm going to do though is show you the name of one of the black notes, this one here, which is the second one of the 2 black notes. That one is in between D and E, so it has 2 names. It's called either D sharp or E flat. In this case, we'll just call it D sharp since we're moving from D, D sharp, and then we're going to go to E. Okay? And let me show you how to play that. We start with the thumb on the right hand on the D. Now I'm just using the D right next to middle C. And middle C is the C that's in the middle of the piano. And so we're starting with the D just next to middle C. D, with the thumb, pointer on the D sharp, then move the thumb to E. Okay? If you want it, you could get like a lot of speed on that, but for the thing that we're doing today, it's just, okay? So there we go. Then that allows us to get the next C up with our pinky. So you might hear this. That sort of vibe. But for this, we're going to go. So we do the full little thing twice, and then the third time, we got an extra C up there with a pinky. So 1, 2, and on the third one, you got an extra little button there. So. Okay, so now that takes up 2 bars, okay? So if you'll remember at the start, the C's, we've got 4 bars of this. So what that means is that we need to play that whole lick twice. All right, so we got. Now, it's probably worth a little bit of time me explaining how to play these 2 hands together so that then you can get everything lining up, okay? These 2 notes at the start, let's just consider them free. There's no left hand on those parts. You might want to get your left hand ready though to start, but notice whenever that thumb had moved to this note, that's where we start the left hand. Okay, that's important. So then from here on in for a little while, your left hand is just going to mirror what the thumb is doing on the right hand. Okay? So now that I'm about to use the thumb again on the right hand, then the left hand does the next thing. Then thumb again on the right hand, so the left hand. Yeah? Makes sense? So we're kind of going. That sort of idea. So. Now when you get to this part, so where we've got our little two buttons here at the end, then we just play on the one that isn't this. So right, left, right, left. Now, I'm not saying, guys, that this is going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be really, really easy. But I am saying, though, that it is something that you can get the hang of. Now, you might need to pause. You might need to take a while. You might get frustrated. And this is something that I want to tell all the beginners out there, because my goodness, I have taught thousands and thousands of beginners over the decades. And the truth of the matter is, you've just got to say to yourself, if I'm going to sit down here for 30 minutes and practice, then I'm going to allow myself to get as annoyed and as pissed off as I can get, but only after I've finished practicing. So then in a half an hour, I'm going to allow myself to be as frustrated and let it get out of me in all sorts of ways. And then you'll realize that when you come to the end of your practice session, you probably feel a little bit silly letting all your frustration out after that. So that's a good way to get ahead of your frustration. But if you've ever learned anything to a relatively decent level, if you've ever learned the language or anything like that, you know that the frustration comes and that's just normal, but then you override that by saying, no, I'm learning a skill, and you practice all the harder. Okay, so and remember on the C it's twice. Alright, so that's two sets of that lick on the right hand with the left hand just going on with the thing. Okay, so then we got. Notice I was only playing the lick once on the right hand, and it's the same lick, just moved up. Just like the left hand, because we're going to F, it's the same lick, but just moved up. Same thing we're going to do with the right hand. So what we're going to do is, the notes that we're playing is G, G sharp, A, with that thumb, pointer, thumb thing again. G, G sharp, A, then it's F up there. So same shape as we had down here, we're just moving everything up now. With the F on the left hand. So we got that one time, and then we go back to the C position and we do it one time there again. Okay, so let me show you what we've got so far, right? Because I know that we've done 4 bars in the C, we've done 2 bars on F, and now we've got our 2 bars again on C. So we're 8 bars through the 12 bars. So let me play it both slowly and then at normal speed for you, so that you can see what you're going for. If you can play about 70% as well, as the slow version, then I'm pretty pleased with that, and you can consider what you've learned so far today as a success. You'll always have time to be able to practice this again when you're doing the other stuff as well. So, sorry, I'm doing it full speed. Let me do it slowly first of all. Forgive my mistakes, but you get the idea of what I'm going for. Let me play it at full speed. I tend to play it better whenever I play it fast. You'll also get there yourself, where you find that now when you play stuff fast, it's hard to play stuff slowly. Now, all of that part sets up for what's called the turnaround in blues. Now this bit's real, it's a whole lot quicker, so we're going to have to change a few things about our little lick, but that's okay, because you already know you got G1, F1, that's 1 bar of G, 1 bar of F, and then we go back to 2 bars of C. So the turnaround is this bit, and then we're back to sanity back when we go back to the C, okay? So we got, so it's the same thing that we had for the F shape, but only up one. So that's A sharp, B with a G with the pinky. So, and we see how we've shortened that now. So we don't have that. We don't have time for that in this part. So now we move down to the F for 1 bar and do the same as what we just did on the G there. So that turnaround. Easy enough. And then we've got another 2 bars of C at the end. And we know what we do on that. And we know that because of the right hand lick that we've got lasts for 2 bars. Then we go. And then that's the end of our cycle. So we've got G, F, then back to our C. Now, let me play the whole thing through all 12 bars at a reasonably slow speed that just about any beginner can probably figure out how to play after a little bit of practice. After maybe sort of, depending on who you are, maybe after a few days, weeks, or maybe a month of practice. But you will be so happy that you did, because this is essentially the introduction to all kinds of amazing blues that you can do. So even if it's difficult, even if it's tough, even if it takes a while, even if you think, God, I'm not getting this, still stick with it, because you will get it. I know I've seen so many people do this. So slowly, the whole 12 bars. I'll also talk you through it as we do it, because I'm loud, that's why. C. Next bit. Yeah? You stay there. Now we're up to the F. Then back down to the C. Then up to the G. Don't worry if you're still making mistakes, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry if this one lesson takes you absolutely ages. Don't worry if you're doing this lesson and then eventually you decide that you need to look at some other stuff that we've got here so that you can practice some other stuff alongside it. That's absolutely fine. If you feel that you've got about 70% away of the way through being able to play this, then I would say it's good enough to be able to move to the next lesson and practice what's going on there. The left hand is the same throughout, so you're very fortunate in that way. In fact, much of blues is like that. So it's a style that once you get the hang of it, then it's a whole lot more about the style and the way that you play rather than the notes that you play. So I say all that to say, I want to encourage you to stick at it, even though this will be frustrating for you, because it's worth it once you get the hang of it, and then it's like riding a bike, you know. So hopefully that's been really useful to you. If you have anything that's tricky or difficult, then keep going back, keep looking, keep working on it, and all the best with your blues piano journey. Bye! You didn't think I forgot, did you? 12-bar blues. So, pause the video or whatever you like to do, and you can write it down, you can screenshot it, you can do whatever you want. I'm not so good at holding this firm, but there it is right there. Zoom in, do what you gotta do. But there's your 12-bar blues. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we move to F. We got 2 on that. Then we move to C for 2, G for 1, F for 1, C for 2. Now I can say goodbye. Bye.